Alright, guys, today we are going to be reacting to a stubborn feminist, one dominant man, but not too much. Let's jump in.
But like, this is what I see when women say they want a masculine man, dominant man, a man who's a leader, who has leadership characteristics, who takes initiative. You want all these traits, but you want to pick and choose. You want the man to be able to turn that shit on with a light switch. You only want him to be a leader in some contexts. In other contexts, you want him to be a good, submissive boy, pat him on the head. Good boy. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything is black or white generally. You know, things very nuanced. Well, it's true. Like I mean, if you want to talk about things like that, relationships, like it just isn't. It isn't. It's like
no, but it's not.
It's two
not
humans.
black or...
They're very complex. No, it doesn't have to be just one way or just the other way. Like you have two people. It's very complex. And first of all, I think that like you have masculinity and like femininity, let's say, and everyone's kind of like there on the spectrum, kind of, right? So everyone's gonna find someone that's like complementary to them.
No, but so, like if you ask most women, like they want a guy to take the lead, to take charge.
Yeah.
In the dating context, you want the guy to make pretty much all the moves.
Like I do agree that women are contradictory. I agree with that. I know what you mean.
And you want
I
a
agree
man.
With that.
Oh, like you see these memes. Like I want a guy who's going to say, "Be ready at 7 p.m. I'm going to pick you up. We're going here." Y'all want that. But then you also kind of don't want, like they're totally mixed signals. And then also you say you want a leader, but like you don't want to follow is the big thing. In order for somebody to be able to lead, if you want a man who's a leader, you got to be a follower. There is no, we can't both be the leader.
You don't think you can sometimes be, sometimes not be?
No.
You don't think you can kind of like move around?
You can, but if you want the man to be a leader, I don't really think you can.
If that's what you want, and
if that's what you like, there can be some dynamics like that.
Yeah.
But if you want, broadly speaking, and I think women broadly speaking want men to be leaders.
Yeah. What you're saying is like they're contradictory with themselves.
But
like
and
I get it.
On a sort of biological, evolutionary level. You're attracted to men who are leaders, who are confident, who take initiative, who are masculine, who are dominant, who have those leadership.
And you should, as a female, you should. I mean, I'm not knocking females to you praise those attributes. Of course you should. You should. That's your prerogative. Oh my goodness. Ugh. No, you should. For your best result, you should. Use that in your favor. However, when time comes to shove, you cannot simply play the double standard. You want the leader, he's going to lead. That's it. But you want that leadership when it's convenient. Interesting, huh?
Traits. But feminism has put it into your mind not to be a follower. So you won't be submissive. You won't follow his lead. But you want him to be a leader. You want him to take the initiative. You want him to lead, but you won't follow. Be the leader, but I won't follow you. Doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. Yeah. If you want a leader, somebody's got to be the follower. And I can't lead with somebody who won't follow.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you must not have an opinion. Because sometimes it doesn't mean that you must not have an opinion. Like you're still in a relationship, right? Like I understand your synergy of like followers and a leader.
I don't think she understands it.
But in any,
you can have an opinion. You can have all the opinion that you want. I don't have to take any. You can tell me all the opinion that you want. I simply decide whether or not I will take your opinion. That's what it is.
Any leader, follower, you still have, you're still going to have discussions. You're still going to, just earlier you said,
no.
Well, that's just weird. That's just not being humans.
If I'm the CEO, if I'm the CEO of a corporation, and I give a task to an employee, it's not the employee should not be like.
So that's how you want your woman to be. You're a CEO, and you just.
No, I'm using an analogy to better articulate a point.
Yeah.
So no, not an employee, but yeah.
Yeah, you're using the analogy because
if she wants me to pay for the first date and do all the shit and be a leader, she wants me to plan dates, everything, then yeah.
Then she must not have an opinion.
Then you should probably listen to what I say.
But
If you
you
want
can't listen to
ladies, if you want to start sliding into my DMs and hitting me up and paying for first dates and doing all this shit and moving things forward physically and sexually, then we can have a conversation about who should listen and who should be a follower, who should be a leader.
I don't
until
I
that
don't see how
point-
that equates to like not having an opinion, not like
You can have an opinion.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like even
I will
earlier you said like
consult with
someone that
you.
doesn't quarrel. It's like that's not a relationship. You're gonna have quarrels. I'm not saying you always.
the
There's
best
always gonna be
the best
discussions. You're always gonna have like you're
quarrel.
two humans. Yeah.
No, there should be no quarreling.
Well, whatever you want to call it, but like you're never gonna to want someone who's always gonna agree with you. First of all, I would want to be challenged personally. I would want my ideas
Oh,
to
that's toxic right there. That is completely toxic. I want it to be challenged. Right there, that's the huge red flag. And not only that, you guys noticed in the last couple seconds she was just going back and forth with Brian? That's a problem, bro. I mean, listen, if you're going to get married with somebody, you have to think about the fact that this is going to last. You're thinking about the long run. And she's already showing you all her cards. Right here.
to be challenged. I would want my boyfriend to want to be challenged so that we can like find, because for me, okay, what I know
We're
is like
different though. Men and women are different.
they are.
Yeah. So
But you guys, no, but you are. But I mean, if you talk about men, let's say like you talk.
wait. I got to respond to the.
Okay.
You want to be challenged in a relationship. I don't. Most men, we contend with the world in our lives,
Mm-hmm.
right? The home has to be our peace.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
If the home is not our recluse, if the home is not our peace,
Mm-hmm.
and you're quarreling and nagging and just constant conflict,
Yeah.
because you're challenging us. That's not a good girlfriend. That's not a good
No,
wife.
well, that's the thing. That's not a good boyfriend either. And I get that because my ex was kind of like that.
There
But
we go. Yeah, she had to simply throw it back. This is her, folks. This is her.
I'm saying like you're gonna bump heads sometimes. You're not gonna
Sure,
always,
maybe.
like I'm just saying it's gonna happen. But there's a difference between that and like, yeah, always like creating problems, always creating conflicts. I get that, but that's for everybody.
No.
Nobody wants to be in a relation like, you don't want a guy like that. You don't want a girl like that either.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's just a given.
Yeah, I don't.
But you like to just want someone to constantly agree with you. It's like when you want you don't want to know if you're wrong about something, or maybe you have to think something through a bit like further, or like maybe there are other options, or maybe
I will listen.
Perhaps, if you don't mind, I would like to just ask you two very simple questions. The first is, you yourself personally, would you prefer to have a man who treated you more like an equal, or who treated you more like he was in the dominant role and you were to be a submissive follower? Which would you personally prefer? There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure because I haven't had a lot of relationships and I've had bad ones. So and I'm being honest, it's not that I don't want to answer. I'm just not sure what the synergy I would want to be in.
Synergy.
Okay.
What?
So
Well,
maybe
let me ask
I
you
would.
the second. Let me ask you the second question, as I understand your answer to the first, that you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that most men would prefer their women to be in a submissive position or a dominant one?
No, submissive. But again, I think what I'm arguing.
Yeah, right. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. I agree that I think most men would prefer their women in a submissive role. And you agree with me that most men would prefer their woman in a submissive role.
I think so, yeah.
If that is true, then if you look for an equal role where you say, okay, wait a second, we're equals, it's not submission, don't you necessarily narrow the field of men for yourself, like by an incredible amount, right?
Well, at that point, she's remember, she's way up in her late 30s. So basically, right now, she's in a position where she's still being combated because she wanna have an opinion, man. Sometimes just shut up, man. Sometimes just shut up. And maybe a lot of doors will be open open. But that's very different concept to understand. Because not everybody can look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? I think I'm the problem. That would require humility. And if she's willing to understand the concept of humility, she might get something, but I don't think it's going to get the guy that she's thinking about to get. Does that make sense, folks? Let me know in the comment section.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Brian says this, it always sounds bad rolling off the tongue because we're so indoctrinated into egalitarianism. We're all interchangeable widgets and everybody's equal to everybody else. Clearly, though, you have a bit of life experience. You know that that's not true. So the question then becomes, can't you value a person's opinion, but at the same time dismiss it? Can't you say, I value what you're saying, but you're wrong, and I'm going to do this anyway because that's what's for the greater good of our family. Can't you value an opinion and dismiss an opinion?
If like a message comes in
There was something
covering
about
them up,
C-word.
you can go to the split. No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
Man, he was cooking there. But we're going to jump to the next clip. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one.